of the Week preview show. Brought to you by Metro PCS.
Seventh week of the high school football season here on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan getting you ready for a matchup here tonight. Big battle in 6A. Number 1 Spanish Fort taking on number 3, the Blount Leopards. Can't wait to see this one. We'll have Lev Holly and Coach Ben Blackman here with us from Spanish Fort. And so, you know, Dan, you were out of town last week in Vegas. We'll talk about that later.
No, we won't.
Okay. But anyways, but I think you know, when I was texting you scores during the game, you were really interested in that game, wanted to be here. And I think you, like a lot of the viewers watching that game, surprised at the outcome we saw with McGill getting the big win over Blount here on UTV 44 last week.
Yeah, it was really surprising, especially the recent history. We've seen these two teams play in the recent past, including last year when Blount gave McGill their last loss.
Right.
So the fact that the game was going to be at Blount, and you just figured physically they were going to match up pretty closely, but when the scores came in, it was surprising. And, you know, I did as much research about the game as I could as I was coming back to town, and it just seemed like...
Playing at the pool in Vegas. I saw those pictures. That didn't look like research of high school football, my friend.
Well, it was casual research, but it was research nonetheless. And what I found was it didn't seem to be any accident. It wasn't a lightning strike. It wasn't happenstance. It wasn't crazy turnovers. It was really that a McGill team came in very prepared and was a big winner on the road at a tough place to win.
Yeah, and I think knowing the Blount Leopards program as we do, what we've seen in past years, Lev Holly is second year, I think there's no question that the Leopards will be, you know, I'm not sure Ben Blackman liked how that went out last Friday, because there's no question I think the Leopards will come out and be a much more focused football team tonight.
Well, we don't have to wonder, because Lev and Ben are both here. We get a chance to talk to them, so we will find out. But I think you're right. I mean, and the season is long, and you would think, how could a Blount team not be as ready as they can for McGill? Maybe the fact that they did beat them last year. Who knows? The fact is, Blount is loaded, and they got a great coach, excellent coaching staff, and I'm sure they've been in their ear all week. And so Spanish Fort's going to get their best shot.
Yeah, and I think, too, you know, maybe, you know, this game means more to the Blount kids from a what's going on in the season, playoffs, region standings, than the non-region game did last week. Spanish Fort was off last week. So, I mean, maybe that was it. Maybe the Blount kids were thinking a little bit about the Toros and the big matchup they have with them coming up here tonight.
Yeah, and so that's every reason for us to believe what we're going to see tonight. We swear it's going to be a great game. We've had some mulligans here along the way, matchups that looked great on paper, certainly before the season, and many of them in the middle of the season. We thought that's going to be a great game. Hasn't always turned out that way, but fingers crossed. We'll talk to the coaches, talk to the players, see how we do tonight.
All right, we'll think so. Hey, fall is here, but the holiday season, it's not that far away, right?
Well, Thriller Nights of Lights at Hank Aaron Stadium starts tonight, and it's through October 31st from dusk until 10. You've enjoyed those Christmas light shows at Hank Aaron Stadium the past couple of years, and now Thriller Nights of Lights. It's family-friendly, drive-through light show, synchronized to music. It comes right through your car radio, and they've got displays of giant spiders and spooky eyes and friendly ghosts, and it's everything that can scare me. I know that. Anyway, a variety of music themes. It's a lot of fun. The only show of its kind in the country, Thriller Nights of Lights, is thrills for kids and adults of all ages. And remember, every Friday night is Midnight Madness, open until 2 extra hours on Fridays. And that's at Hank Aaron Stadium beginning tonight.
Leave the football game on 8 Mile, drive right on through. You got to go right by there when you're heading home, a lot of folks. So if you're going, especially from Spanish Fort, you can go right by there. All right, we're going to come back. It's Toros and Leopards tonight here on UTV 44. Ben Blackman will join us, the head coach of the Toros, coming up right after this. Metro PCS pregame show. We're here at the Airport Boulevard, location 7335 Airport Boulevard, all the way out almost toward Schillinger Road here
not far.
On West Mobile. And then the Spanish Fort Toros, they have a location as well, 825 U.S. Highway 98 in Daphne there, right by the Smoothie King. Familiar with that there in Daphne, heading south right there on the right-hand side. Justin Thomas of the Toros with us, head coach Ben Blackman, as we get ready for the matchup. So off last week, had the week off. Like, your team obviously been going well, playing so well. Do you like having the week off at that point, or is it just kind of when it happens to fall?
Well, you know, scheduling-wise, it just happens to fall that week. And, you know, scheduling, we're in a, you know, a 9-team region. We only have 2 non-region games, and, you know, you can either try to play 11 straight weeks in the Jamboree or take a week off somewhere in the season. In our season, our week off fell last week. And, you know, it was refreshing for our guys, kind of reflect as coaches and get our kids healed up and ready to go.
Wasn't like a week in Hawaii. Wasn't like a week in Hawaii.
Or Vegas.
Yeah, that was you.
So when you do get a chance to step back, what do you see that maybe you would not have seen about your team as you're kind of scouting yourself with that entire week to take your time, breathe a little bit, and not just worry about game planning for the next game?
Well, I think it gives you a chance to really evaluate where you're at that point in the time of the season and where your focus needs to go for the remainder. You know, we're in one of the toughest regions, and you got to fight and claw every week to stay in it and get yourself in position to be able to get in the playoffs. And you know, who knows once you get in there what happens.
Kind of a rivalry certainly has developed between Blount and Spanish Fort with just the way the programs have are kind of the cream of the crop there in 6A, and you heard us talk about it in the open, but you know, after the game they had last week, you know, and I'm sure your team will realize the Leopards they were going to be ready for the Toros anyway, but there's probably a little extra focus, I would guess, we're going to see out of them tonight.
Oh yeah, I mean, you know, I think last week, and Coach Holly would tell you, it was just a perfect storm for McGill. I mean, you know, McGill's very talented. We played them early in the year. They got a lot of weapons, but you know, Coach Holly does a great job. You know, he's up there with the top coaches in the state. He'll have his guys prepared. I know he's been in their ear all week, and you know, they'll come out and they'll be excited and they'll play with a lot of enthusiasm. And we don't expect anything different from them.
I think 42 points is all you've given up all year. 24 in the first game we saw against McGill. Your defense has been playing so great, coming off back-to-back shutouts. And I know number 6, the big guy over here next to us, one of the big reasons why you've had so much success on that side of the ball.
Yeah, Justin does an outstanding job for us, and we have a lot of senior leadership on the defense. You know, from Thomas Johnston and Colt Steiner and Zach Miller, who was here earlier in the year. But you know, those guys are the core of our returning players from the championship team, and you know, that's who we lean on for our leadership and for you know, is our defense. And you know, offense has gone through some hurdles early in the year and with an injury here or there, and you know, so our defense has got to be the strength of our program. And you know, I'm an offensive guy, but at the end of the day, defenses win championships, and you know, that's where we put our money.
Justin, talk about what you've only got so many Friday nights left now, and you know, great chance that you're going to be going on to play Division I and possibly in the SEC. But when you're now beginning to wind down the clock on your high school career, what is each Friday night, for instance, against Blount, going to mean to you?
Just going out and playing every play like it's my last play.
Looking at Blount, Kadarius Toney, the quarterback, I mean, so talented, also probably going to play in the SEC somewhere, but you see how he can throw the ball, how he can run. What's a key for your defense to try to keep him in check tonight?
Just keep attacking, attack. Just keep attacking.
And I would think also you've got to attack in kind of a containing sort of way, because the last thing you want is for Toney to get around you, and then all heck breaks loose, right? Yeah.
Yes,
As an offensive guy, you have to admire when you see what Kadarius Toney can do on the field when he's not playing your team, because he's a great young man. We've had him on the show. Big smile, love him, and he's a special talent.
Yeah, you know, and I witnessed last year in living color.
We all did.
The young man is as dynamic as he is, but he has a strong will to win, and he wants to win, and you know, that's what makes him great. He's probably, you know, one of the most dynamic athletes in our state. And when the ball's in his hand, you don't know what's going to happen. and so you just got to play. You got to play sound, and you got to tackle. You know, you got to give him as many hats to him as possible. You know, that's kind of got to be our focus defensively is pursue the football, gang tackle, and you know, and wrap up, because he's, like I said, you know, I can go show you film last year where he just broke tackle after tackle.
And I mean, it's hard to replicate in practice, getting ready for a game, isn't it?
Yeah, you can't replicate it. You know, it's It's just something you can preach and teach and try to, look at film and just kind of really encourage and motivate your guys to say, hey, if we're going to be successful, this is what we got to do, and that's kind of what we do.
Well, we can't wait to see the game. Justin, be safe out there tonight. We're glad you're here with us in the pregame show. Speaking of be here, we're at 7335 Airport Boulevard for our Metro PCS pregame show. And if you're a fan of the Toro, stop by and see the location in Daphne. It's at 28825 US Highway 98 there on the right-hand side in the shopping center if you're heading south on 98 in Daphne. Coming up, we'll talk about the Blount Leopards. Collins Woods, wide receiver, and head coach Lev Holly join us right after this as we get ready for Spanish Fort and Blount here tonight on UTV 44. Metro PCS pregame show here. We're at the Airport Boulevard location, West Mobile, 7335 Airport Boulevard. And if you're a fan of these guys, the Leopards, you can stop by the Metro PCS store, 3305 St. Stephen's Road. Actually, I drove by it on the way to the games when I was heading out there on Friday. Collins Woods, junior wide receiver for the Blount Leopards. Lev Holly, the head coach of the Leopards, with us here back-to-back weeks, had the game against McGill. Hey, one thing before we talk about the game, such a great matchup the last 2 years. We've seen non-region games. Is that matchup something we think is going to be able to continue, Blount and McGill, in a non-region game in years coming ahead?
Yeah, no doubt. I think that's a big-time game for both programs. I think, financial-wise, it's really big for both schools. So, no doubt. As long as I'm here, we'll.
Okay, so we have a vote. We're in. We want to keep
exactly.
seeing that. And the gate was huge. I mean, the crowd was huge.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of Blount fans, and McGill brought a bunch of fans. So that was it. So we won't dwell on that as we look forward to region play. But obviously, probably one of those real coachable moments this week for the Blount Leopards from their head coach, I'm guessing.
Oh, no doubt. I think it's a humbling experience. Like I said, we was on the winning side last year, so we got a chance to, to control those bragging rights. But McGill came in, great football team, and they came in and they put it to us. And, biggest thing about that, you have to look at yourself in the mirror and look at that adversity and ask yourself, and I tell the kids all the time, you have to be able to deal with that with character and humility. And like I said, I think they've responded. Anytime that you're in a fight like that, in a battle, and you have high expectations, and you don't play up to the level that you're coached to, I think it's a humbling experience. So, I'm hats off to them guys. They did what they supposed to do. So now, as a head coach and as a coaching staff, we had to go back to the drawing boards and look at some of the things that we've done and how we prepared. And no doubt, we felt like it was some stuff that we could control and we didn't. So, but I take full blame of the effort. I take blame for the way those kids played, and hopefully we'll see a better Blount team this week.
Yeah, well, and no choice but to do that big region matchup here tonight. Pretty much the team who wins this is going to end up being the region champions. I think is what most people feel. And region games so important. And you and Spanish Fort, I mean, it is a huge one tonight for the Leopards.
It is. Coach Blackman, those guys, they do a great job. They are defending 6A state champion. Mm-hmm. So I think, we have to go out and we have to play to that level. And, people say, hey, they lost to Tyler Johnson. They still have Spanish Fort. They're still part of a program that's been very successful, have championships. And, so if you look at the last 10 years, they're probably the team of the, of the decade. So there's no doubt it's going to be a dogfight, no doubt that they'll come prepared and they'll come ready and they'll come out and try to hit us in the mouth. So we just got to be ready to counter that, with disciplined football, high-level football and competitive nature. So, but we're happy to be in the situation that we're in. A lot of times, you can say, hey, a lot of teams, and how I put it to all guys was, hey, we've beat a lot of teams since I've been here, and we've beat them pretty good. So we just happen to be in it and just happen to take it. So the thing about this game, you're going to win them, you're going to lose them, but you're only good as your last performance. So hopefully we can get out and bounce back and play Blount football.
When I met with you early in the year, maybe before the season, actually, we were talking about your play at wide receiver. Even though you lost some players, you felt like you were going to be just fine. Talk about this guy right here, Collins Woods.
Man, he's a kid that's that's being challenged every day, and I think Colin has a really big upside. But outside of the football arena, Colin's like the #2 kid in the class right now, salutatorian. Has like 4.3, 22, 23 ACT. and he's the principal's son. But he does it the right way. And like I said, I really think this guy has a future in doing it. And once, you know, it all comes together, he's going to be really special to watch.
Yeah, we've loved just getting to know you. You'll be the scholastic athlete of the game later on today. So talk about, you know, when Coach Holly talks about leadership and character, he's really talking to guys like you and you specifically. What has this week been like for you as a team getting ready for the matchup against the Toros after last week's tough game?
We just had to face adversity. We just had to look it in the face. We took it. We played Friday. We didn't play to the best of our potential, so we came back this week focused. Monday, we had a good practice. Kind of rained us out, went in the gym. We came back out. We ended up having a productive day. We had a pretty productive day today and yesterday, so I think we should be ready.
You're obviously very familiar with the Spanish Fort football team and the program. What do they bring? What do they do? When you're playing Spanish Fort, what are you thinking about? What are you about to come up against?
Spanish Fort's a really good team. I played last year. We played against them. It was at their home, so it was kind of, they had home field advantage. I know it was loud, and they were moving fast. So we just got to play our game and not worry about that.
That was one of the best games we've ever televised.
I think so. Huge numbers. Everybody loved to watch it. Yeah, it was. We expect it to be similar here tonight. So looking at the Toros, you know what you're going to get. Maybe they've had some challenges offensively with some injuries. Their defense is playing great, but I mean, not a lot of surprises. You know what you're in for going against this team tonight.
Dogfight. I mean, you can't. I don't think you can deny the success that program had. And biggest thing about the Spanish Fort is those kids. They believe. And when you get a team that believe, you know, it just take a little something to get them going. And they'll be ready to go anyway. Like I said, Coach Blackman and, you know, those guys over there, man, they coach with a passion and they do it the right way. And, you know, their heart is in it. And those kids' heart's gonna be in it. And we know going in that, you know, they've had some offensive struggles, but it's still Spanish Fort. And at any time, they can light it up. Again, I think Coach Blackman one of the best in the state. You know, so defense-wise, I know Thomas Johnson, he's a kid that who makes them go. Justin Thomas, he's a kid that makes them go. And they got the front seven, I think. You know, probably one of the best that we'll see, besides what we saw last week. So
again, right?
Yeah,
I think it's great. But you know, we welcome competition.
Here's what I really hope is this is just the first of two matchups between these teams here on UTV 44.
Yeah.
Collins Woods, wide receiver. We'll see him out there in a little bit. Lev Holly's going to stay here to answer some silly questions with us. He loves. I mean, talks about it all summer. Loves it. 3305 St. Stephen's Road is the Metro PCS location. If you're a fan of the Leopards, we're here tonight at the Westmobile location. We'll come back and wrap things up and get you ready for the kickoff between Blount and Spanish Fort right here on UTV 44. Before you start, Dave Brennan, I'm just saying the scariest part of this might be the thought of you actually driving through.
Oh, man.
I just think that could be a bit of a scare.
We had some trouble at Christmas last year when I was behind the wheel. But anyway, Hank Aaron Stadium, it starts tonight, and it's from dusk until 10 o'clock. You enjoyed the Christmas lights at Hank Aaron Stadium, and now they've got the brand new, it's all for Halloween, obviously. Thriller Nights of Lights. You want to find out more about it? By the way, Friday, they've got 2 extra hours you can enjoy. Find out more at...
Post-game. You're the post-game right there.
I'll be there. ThrillerNightsOfLights.com. Check it out.
All right, that's at Hank Aaron Stadium. All right, so we've got head coach Ben Blackman, head coach Lev Holly of the Toros, of the Leopards and Toros. We get ready for our silly questions to wrap things up here. Well, they're gonna be easy. Like the stare. Like could you like the stare right there? All right, candy or ice cream?
Ice cream. Ice cream.
It's all over my face.
Yeah, on the same way. All right, so we'll stay on that. Food for the soul or music for the soul?
Food for the soul. Food for the soul.
Music.
Yeah, I'm a big foodie guy, but I think more on the music. Oldest pair of shoes in your closet?
You got him on that one.
Yeah, you got me. Probably, I don't know, 2 or 3 years.
Okay, that's not bad. You got any real old ones in there?
I do have some Cole Huns from college.
Cole Hans from college. Probably had them resold a few times, but
No.
No? Never?
You're skipping over me. No, let's just keep going.
Won't do that. Let's see. Your least favorite sport. We always talk about least favorite sport to watch on TV. This could hurt me bad, I think.
I don't know.
No, none. You just like can't flip over fast enough.
It would have to be something that I just don't know anything about. I love sports, you know, so it's something I just.
You got any? You're flipping right back.
I know about every sport.
Okay.
We can't. We'd have to stop the conversation.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how intolerable do you find baby pictures on Facebook?
It depends if it's my baby.
Yeah, but of course, everybody wants to see
Everybody wants to see their own kids. Right?
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, 5 or 6.
Solid 6, middle of the road?
Not on Facebook.
Yeah, he's not even on, doesn't even mess with that. I'm going to tell you why. Ever put something unusual in the refrigerator?
Yes, pair of scissors.
Pair of scissors. Okay. See, I can relate. How about you?
What you gonna do with him?
They had to be cold. They had to be cold, obviously, for some reason. Not by mistake, I didn't put anything?
Did you do something recently?
Yeah, I put my phone. I couldn't find my phone, and it was in the refrigerator, like next to the taco shell or something.
Now I put the milk jug in a cabinet and
Okay,
come
well,
home 2 days
that's
later.
it. All right, this is an actual
Similar violation.
This is an actual question from a top job interview site where people go. A penguin walks through that door right now wearing a sombrero. What does he say and why?
What does he say?
Yeah. Penguin wearing a sombrero. I'm giving you a chance to think about it.
Hola.
Okay, he says hola. Says hola. What else would he say, right? A penguin and a sombrero. I would like to see the mix-up between you and a penguin and a sombrero. I would pay to see that.
I hope you say Leopards win.
All right, there we go. He says go Leopards. All right, y'all are good sports. We can't wait. Kickoff comes up here in a few minutes. We're at Leopard Stadium here tonight. It's Blount coming in, undefeated in the region. Toro's coming in undefeated in the region. Can't wait. Number 1, number 3 in the state. Dan Brennan back in the booth. 1-game suspension over. Back here tonight. Stick around. Kickoff comes up right after this.